Welcome to the Z Truth Podcast, where we have transparent, real, and thought-provoking conversations. Your host is Zykira Casado.
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Z Truth Podcast. I'm Zykira Casado, your host, here with some more exciting, transparent, real, unbiased, thought-provoking, and holistic topics. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I love to talk about. It's actually part of one of the many hats that I wear, which is the good old social media. And while social media is a very powerful tool that have distracted millions of us, no, I'm just kidding. It also has connected us on levels that we could only imagine possible. And so myself is here with the awesome and amazing Devon and Darnell from Visual Dynasty. And I have a special guest, Zero, here with me, if you didn't notice. He's my baby. That's my grandbaby. I know it's strange, but anyway, he's gonna be hanging out with us, literally. And so let's get into the topic of social media, how it can be an impactful thing, how it can be a distracting thing, and so much more. So let's get into it. So I know Devon is here again with a couple questions. So let's go ahead, let's dive in.
All right.
Dive in.
So what do you think is revealed in social media posts?
A lot. I mean, you agree with me or not, but in most aspects with social media, you can tell when someone's happy, sad, going through a breakup, just got into a relationship, and all of that. Now, granted, it also reveals personality, I believe. It reveals how an individual thinks. And it also reveals overall what everyone is thinking and what type of time everyone is on. I feel like when I first got into network marketing, social media just came about. And I used to use social media back even in MySpace. And I'm gonna tell a funny story. So I used to sell healthcare insurance, for those who don't know, discounted healthcare. And so on MySpace, don't judge me, but my name was Your Friend with Benefits. And the reason my name was that was because guys would call me, obviously for what? Thinking we would be friends with benefit, but I'm literally saying I'm your friend with benefits. So when guy would be like, oh, I saw your name. And it's funny, this guy, I will not say his last name, but his first name was Eric. He called me, he used to go to my church. And he said, yeah, I was calling you, I see the thing about the benefits. I said, great, I'm glad you called. Do you want dental or medical? And I would sign people up like crazy from that phrase. It's the phrase that pay. So the reason I say it, the thing about social media that I love is that some people will take it literal. And when you take things literal in that aspect, especially because we went to church together, I think that he couldn't have not signed up. He signed up for the top package. He kept it for like 8 years and we got paid on retention. And that happened several times. So when you understand, this was back before we had studies on social media, how it works. I literally was in a state of mind of looking at this like, okay, this is connecting me and putting me in places that I've never been before or couldn't be at the same time. Because the reality is social media allows us to be at multiple places, talking to multiple people. And I could be here in America and be over here. You could be in Nigeria somewhere and we can still have a conversation. Okay. So I think it reveals, I think also not just people post, but I think social media alone also have revealed to us who we are as humans, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean? If I post right now, I'm going to help anyone who likes this post how to make $1 million, right? Versus zero. Come on. Versus me fighting somebody in a parking lot. How many people are going to watch or respond to the $1 million versus the fight? Mm-hmm. I thought he would just sit here, y'all. But clearly he's like trying to, okay, just give me a second. So I feel like it reveals to us who we are as humans and what we prefer to look at. Just Just make sure I don't get exposed from him pulling my dress. So that's what I feel like in regards to what it reveals to us about us individually and us as a whole. That it's a double-edged sword where it can be a very distracting thing for people. I don't think I would have social media and be on it as much if I wasn't in business. Okay. But then I also think it's a great way to help create your own diary type vibe too. You know what I mean? Because what I find is people don't go on social media to buy anything. Most of us don't. Most of us don't go online or on Facebook. When we finish this podcast and you log in, you're not gonna go in there looking for something to buy. And even before the mics and all of that came about, where when I say I'm looking for a wagon, and now when I go online, wagons pop up, right? Even before that, because that's a new thing, right? We don't go on there for that. We go on what I teach in my book is FORM, which is family, occupation, recreation, and therein lies your message. Meaning people go on there to look at you, they nosy. They want to know what pictures you're posting. Is it your birthday? What you got going on? Is this person sad about this guy? Are they still in a relationship or not? That's what people go on social media for. It's called social media. It's for you to be socially connected with people, right? And so I think it reveals a whole lot. My first book was 10 Social Media Secrets. We changed it to 15 Social Media Secrets. And I would joke, but I said I was going to make a book called 15 Secrets That Get You Caught, because it's such a revealing thing. Such a revealing thing.
What do you think is more important, the data or the psychology within social media?
The data or the psychology? I think it runs parallel, because there's definitely a psychology to social media. I think social media marketing, you have to understand the psychology of people. You have to know what's going to make your content get engagement. I think knowing that is part of psychology. I feel like if you want, it's kind of like, yes, definitely psychology, because we say what triggers people. You know what I mean? When we look at it from a place like he's being triggered right now for something because he keeps moving. But certain things trigger people to engage, and there's certain things that make them not engage. And it's funny because one of them, and I think that gives you the data that we all look for, the insights of whatever it is. And the cool thing about social media and how it reveals so much, I feel that if you focus on the psychology of social media, the psychology of people, of human nature, of what we like and what we don't like, I think that's why my story in the beginning about the friend with the benefits, even though I was selling people, I call those things getting in where you fit in post. Meaning you're talking about one thing and they don't even know you're talking about your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that sex is a big deal online. You know what I mean? It just is. And I understand that, at the time I might have not had a thought back then I was as attractive as I feel like I am now, but that's not the point. I'm the same person, but I feel like that when you understand the things that trigger people, then you can let that be for your benefit. And hopefully, that you use that knowledge in a way that is productive, the way that is positive. Was it positive that dear Eric signed up for my plan? Yeah, he saved a lot of money on that plan. It wasn't like he just got the plan and he didn't benefit from it. I'm literally his friends that provided him with benefits, but it just wasn't the benefits that he initially signed up for. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I say that a lot. I need to stop saying that, Devon. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I feel like it So to go back to the question, I feel like if you focus on the psychology, it will give you the data that you need. But they do run in one and the same.
Mhm.
And when you understand that and you learn that, now I can use what I know. Like, I remember one time I was online, I went live, and I was like, I titled it, "I'm so sick of this ish," right?
Mhm.
And I said, "Excuse my rant." And so many people came to my live, but it was really just a rant about the healthcare industry and how I'm happy to be able to provide people with a discount plan that does this, and this. So that, but people came because they thought I was about to be, what they call it, crash out today. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Like crash out. You know what I mean? They thought I was going to crash out. So that brought them there. Does that make sense?
It's like a fishing hook.
Fishing hook.
And they're taking
bait
the bait.
and switch.
Yeah, yep.
It's a bait and switch. Now, some people bait and switch and it's not positive. And that's where the onus goes to the creators that's online, the people who are responsible. Like, I can't stand Derek Jackson. You know who that is?
Yeah,
Ugh.
unfortunately.
You know what's so crazy about Derek Jackson? Is that he still has a following.
I don't know how.
It's the darndest thing. And again, that's where it comes to psychology. Because even when people know you're trash, and I can't fathom that these women don't know. And honestly, maybe like a month ago, he posted something. I was like, "Oh, that's good." And I went and looked. I said, "That's ain't Derek Jackson." I paused and didn't like it because it was frustrating me that it was him still.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of like, well, that's saying, so do you kill the message because the messenger's trash? That's what the conflicting thought that I was having in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it wasn't a bad message. It wasn't what he was saying was bad. It's just a frustrating thing to know that it's a strong possibility that this man hasn't changed and he's not living what he's preaching.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he still has a following. That's psychology. Because I am sure most women, I don't think his following is new people, all new people. Like 100% of all those people new. Like, I just don't think so. And when I went and looked, he still has about, I think, 1 million people that follow him. So it reminds me of, shout out to Rhino, Club Rhino. Okay, his name is Jerry, Club Rhino, Jerry Clark. His name is Jerry Clark. He was a network marketing trainer. He would train us on the psychology of people, and he would break it down in colors. Some people know the psychology of people through animals. You know, they have the whale, the shark, the sea urchin. Whale, the shark, sea urchin. I don't know. I forget the last one. So in Jerry Clark's teachings, he would have, if you guys are scared for me, don't be. This is my baby, okay? So Jerry Clark would have the personalities in colors versus the animals. So he would have the reds, greens, blues, and yellows. So the red and blues were closer together in personality, and the greens and the yellows were like your kumbaya. Well, yellows were like kumbaya people. Oh, let's save the world. Greens were the poker face people who you couldn't tell their emotions, but they're listening. The blues are like me, like, yeah. And reds were the no nonsense, get stuff done. And he even used to break it down to how the person dressed, how they communicated. And then the purpose of his trainings was to teach you how to motivate and trigger that person to go into action, right? So you wouldn't say to a yellow, you know, you probably won't be able to do this. And so it's no point of you signing up. But if you said that the same thing to someone with a red personality, they would do it 10 times over whatever you expected of them, right? So I say all that to say that when you understand and focus on the psychology of people, and then you on top of that, what I talk about in my book that just fell, that if you harness, it's available on Amazon. You harness the skill sets where now you can take that information, okay? You can take that information and you can now create a situation with you being able to gain and create a following. Followings are probably one of the most, I won't say underrated, because it's not underrated anymore, because literally you could be somebody like what we talked about a previous episode with, what's his name? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was an influencer. You know what I mean? I say that a lot. Certain people we would not know about, but it's because they took time to create a following that now we know them. And now they have power. Like, for example, Cardi B, first of all, I do like her album. I've been listening. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I've gotten through like 7, 8 of the songs. And it's pretty good, right? If you've been through stuff, you can relate to her, right? But do I think that Cardi B would be as powerful as she is today if she did not have the millions of followers that she has today? No, absolutely not. So when you understand the psychology of it, I think that will open up many doors for you to create a following and engagement and get the engagement that you really, that can take you to a next level. And that's why I think if I had to choose between data and I had to choose between psychology, I think that I would focus on the psychology.
Okay. What are some clues that, hold on, rephrase the question. Okay, what are some clues for marketing and how do you use them? How do you use them personally?
Cues? I'll give several. So some cues in marketing is you want to learn people's hot buttons, meaning, you know, what is it that make people motivated? What gets people excited? A few cues that people will give to you personally, especially if you're, you know, I ain't saying like you're a shark and you're specifically trying to target that person or target this individual or group of individuals, is to figure out what is their hot button. You know what I mean? And if you pay attention, I say that a lot. If you pay attention to a person, and especially if they're not online for business, they will tell you what's important to them. You know, they'll talk about their kids. They'll talk about family a lot. You know, if it's their work or their career that they really value, they will talk about that. Clearly, I love Zero, right? So if you was to post something about a bearded dragon, do you think it's going to get my attention? Absolutely. And so the thing that I feel that can be considered a cue, but it can also just be, it can just be what it is, which is creating pockets that are based off of your interests. Because you will be able to talk about your interests beyond anything else. Meaning, let's just use Zero as an example. He is it would be crazy if he either bit me or just shit it. That would piss me off so bad if he did that right now. But let me get back focused. But let's say there is a community, I'm in a group on Facebook that's dedicated to bearded dragons, right? So when we talk in that pocket, there's many people who I'm connected to in other facets that would not relate to me. That side of me is unrelatable to probably 90% of the people that I know, right? So I feel like a cue is to understand what's important to people and then create things that would allow them to commingle in those interests. Does that make sense? So in other words, if like, you guys probably could talk about cameras, and I be hearing y'all saying iOS or whatever the hell y'all been saying. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. When you say ISO, I'm thinking of the software on an iPhone. But that's what I'm thinking, but I know that's not what you're talking about right now because I know Mackenzie don't participate in Apple.
And the funny part, when I first started doing this, he'll say ISO, I'm thinking basketball.
So, but why? Because of the company?
The word ISO. So in basketball, it's like when you call for ISO, you want that player you're playing against who's guarding you one-on-one isolation.
See, I would never in a million years know what that means, but somebody else in basketball would probably catch that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a group of my friends, if I talk to them about football, they will be like, this tomboy ass bitch getting on my nerve about this football. Don't even mention football to me again. I got a pedicure the other day and saw my toe is again messed up. They can't relate to that. Now, if I'm with my team, it's like heaven. It's like we understand each other. But that same group of girls that I play football with don't understand him and don't understand why I have him. So if we use those examples of one person having different facets of interest, those are your best cues, is to learn what, and again, most of us are more alike than we are different. Right? I believe that. But I also believe our differences are so vast that it allows us to create those opportunities to connect with people, especially through social media, on a scale that we can only imagine. It's like up from here if you can understand that concept. If you can understand that concept. And one of the things that I wrote, that I paid over $300 something, and now that's not a whole lot of money when you're trying to find the right information and what have you. But literally, the woman name was Danny Johnson. Yeah, Danny Johnson. And she had a seminar, and I paid $300 something from her. The thing that I learned from her was that you have to learn to talk to one person online. So when you write, you know how some people are like, hey, Facebook, hey, IG, don't do that. That's in my book. Don't do that. Talk as if you're having a conversation. You will be surprised how many people will connect to you. Because I think what happens, especially when people don't understand social media, we look at it like it's this different thing, and it's not. It's really just a virtual world of possibilities. And people look at it like real life. And because people use it like it's real life, you know, they just do. Like, I got one friend, I know when she in a relationship, out of relationship, started a new relationship, and she don't even say it, but you can just tell based off of the things in which she decides to post. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I teach my clients, what are you doing? Y'all gonna get me on here acting the fool with him. So I teach my clients to post with emotion, but don't post emotionally. Two different things. Because when you post emotionally, you are posting about you. And even with me knowing that sometimes when I'm going through something, I gotta pause, like, don't post that.
Yeah.
Don't post that, because that's too much about what's happening with you in this moment. You know what I mean? If that's the purpose of you being online, then great. Go ahead, shoot it off, right? But when you post with emotion, when you post with passion, when you take the time to research and now you're giving this good information, you know, like I'm not going to just post online about a bearded dragon. I haven't even watched one video or read one book about them. And just, you know what I'm saying? I have enough experience. This is like my 4th one or 5th one in my lifetime. You know, I've unfortunately didn't handle 2 of them correctly. So I think that's why I can say what to do and what not to do. But like, imagine if when I had my first one, you know, I was very broke, and it's not expensive to maintain them because they eat worms and vegetables and fruit. That's what they eat, right? That don't cost a lot of money, but getting their lights, getting the caging, getting the things that need to start them off can be. So I remember when I first got his name was Izzy, and his light went out. A light bulb can be like $50 for him because it's UV and he need like 3 lights, right? And it could range from $30 to $60 some for one light bulb. So his light bulb went out. You know what I did? The ingenious plan? I put a regular light bulb in there. Wrong. Burnt my poor baby up because it's not the same. It's not giving off the same. So imagine if I posted well, not just emotionally, with emotion, but in addition to with emotion is with accurate knowledge. Because you can create a great following and have them following you like Derek Jackson, and you ain't doing shit that you telling them. And now you have this scandal, but still in all, the power of social media, you can still somehow have 1 million followers and still be Derek Jackson.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess he is an expert though, if you think about it. Because if did he coin the term, excuse my French, fuckboy? I feel like he coined that term.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
honest.
so I don't know if we could bleep that part out, but we didn't do it the last episode. But I think he coined the term fuckboy. And because of what was revealed from him, maybe he is an expert, and that might be a blow at him. I know he'd be wondering why I can't stand him. Because I even be commenting. I said, because he said, the post I was about to like was something like, yeah, first he will not appreciate you. Or something like, if he don't appreciate you now, he'll be stalking you later. And I text, and I reply, is that what you're doing to your wife now? Something like that. And then he never responds to me directly. Whoever manages his page, he inboxes me privately. And it'll be a question like, I should screenshot that junk and send it off. It might be automated. It might be. But he'll say something like, do you think that people can be negative because of these reasons or that reason? Or when I never respond, but yeah. So maybe he is an expert. But I think when you post with emotion and accurate knowledge, I feel like it can be a blissful thing online. You know what I mean? But be very wary and careful when you're constantly posting about you, and unless that's your MO, because some people are like open books to the world. You know what I'm saying? And if that's your persona, then okay, that's your persona. But for those of us who are on there for professional reasons, I don't think that's wise at all. Like at all.
And it kind of goes into the next question as far as how do you feel? How important do you think it is to reveal your true self online, whether it's just a piece of who you are, being authentic, or just showing them everything?
Did I just drool? Okay, so it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I do think you should be authentic. I don't think you have to share your entire life and everything that goes on to your life to be authentic. Because certain things are sacred. And then you have to understand, when you allow the world into your world, then like a lot of people who follow me from the beginning know I have 2 sons. I post them very seldomly now, right? And that's mainly because, number one, they have their own lives. I don't know how much they want people to see what they have going on. I do think posting about your relationship can be, while I understand why people do it, from my personal experiences, I was posting for some reason more when I knew it was done. And I still haven't figured that out. So like when I go back the few times, which if you go through all of my social media, it would take a lot of combing to find out anyone I used to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But the few times I did post my ex or who I was dating at the time, I don't like saying that, but the person who I was dating at the time, who I was in a relationship with, I mean, he posted me first, which I felt that opened the door. But when I look back on it, it's like, he's trying to get down. When I look back on it, it was like, why am I posting it when it was so how do you say that word? Tumultuous? Say it. You know what word I'm trying to say? Tumultuous.
I know what you're trying to say.
It's like turmoil.
Yeah.
Tumultuous. Damn it, I hate this. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? When we were going through turmoil, somebody tell us the right way to say this. When we were going through turmoil, I posted so much then. And I don't know if unconsciously, and it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like some people post their relationship a lot, like every day. We're going for sunshine and roses, and we're gonna do a picnic, and we're this. And when I see that, I can't help to think, is this real?
Right. Do you think it's a way to like sway perception? Even when you know it's going bad, you want people to see that it's going good.
And for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
like you said, perception is reality.
Perception is absolutely reality. And then that's why it's so shocking when you look up and you're like, this loving family that fell apart because one of them done shot each other in the freaking head or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the thing in which we care about the most, we should probably protect it. I don't believe in giving any access to negativity for other people on your platform. So like, for example, and I learned this from Beyonce. She's one of my silent mentors. We never talk, obviously, but you know, you study people and you learn certain things. Like when that whole elevator thing happened with Beyonce, she didn't go online and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't. He is so he's trying to get the attention, which he should, because he's so cute to me. Anyway, so she didn't go online and try to justify it. She put it in her work, which forced you, if you want to know what happened, you got to come and listen to Lemonade, because I think that's when she talked about it. I think in Formation, she said, y'all hate that Cocky Fresh. Something about elevators. If it's $1 billion in the elevator. Something about it. Anyway, she talks about it in her work, but never give the attention to an individual that don't deserve to be on, or an event that doesn't deserve to be on the platform. Some things you should leave to curiosity. I feel like, again, going back to the question, I do think the human in us, even in the moment, because let's say, because of the mic situation now, and he listens to you all the time, it's going to pull things to you based off the conversations you have. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking on the phone about a situation, when you go online, it's going to start showing you things that are in alignment to the conversation, because our mics are on most of the time. So even in those aspects, when it's something that is in alignment to what it is that you're going through, and if you know other people know about it, that's a strategic way to talk about stuff without talking about it, but not also. So we back in the day used to call people MySpace thugs, or I don't know if they call them Facebook thugs. But some people use social media to try to talk about people. They'll do it indirectly. I just learned the term subbing means subliminal.
Yeah.
You know, so that could be a strategic way to talk about something that doesn't need to be talked about on your platform. But at the same time, I feel like that if it's not part of your authentic makeup and it's only a temporary thing based off what you're going through, then I wouldn't share it. I wouldn't expose that. If it's a relationship, I feel like me, in my mind, and this might sound crazy, I imagine me talking about my next relationship when I'm walking down the aisle. I don't want people to follow me because I'm in a relationship. I don't want people to start following my work because you're interested in who I'm dating. I just don't want that. I would rather you follow what I have going on because this is what is valuable to you. And that is just extra, or that's just norm. Maybe it shouldn't even be considered extra. A relationship should honestly just be something of norm. Okay, and then all I would say about social media is just like anything else, as powerful as it is, it's a double-edged sword, so just use it with care. If you're not going to use it for the purpose of business and it's just pleasure, just understand that I feel like you want I want to remind everybody, because I feel like it was a blessing that social media became big for us 80s babies later. because y'all be showing a lot on social media. And in the world of screenshots, in a world of saving data and saving videos and all of that jazz, to be mindful that whatever you post today, even if it's up for 5.5 seconds, it is very likely that it will be in the world of the internet for the absolute rest of your life. And so I do want to do a shameless plug and tell you, if you would like to know the secrets of social media that will help you get paid, check me out on Amazon. It is available there. If you type the title of the book or my name, it'll pop right up, and we'll make sure to have it in this episode. But definitely read the book. If you don't like to read, I do recommend the audio version of it. But I believe because social media rapidly changes on a constant basis, consistently, rapidly, some things that are here with social media today are no longer here now, that it is an opportunity to go to the next level. Where in business, when there was a middleman and you had to find someone to literally connect with to get what it is that you have out into the world, there's no more middleman. It's you and the consumer, okay? And so anything and everything that you can possibly imagine that you want to get out into the world, even today, and I hate to say this, even when you're a complete idiot, it can go viral on social media. All right, so I hope that you guys have been enjoying season 6 of Z Truth Podcast. We have so much more in store. I'm gonna get out of here. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Bye.
Welcome to the Z Truth Podcast, where we have transparent, real, and thought-provoking conversations. Your host is Zykira Casado, the author of 15 social media secrets that pay. So let's get real, get honest, and get started.